Ladies and gentlemen, this broadcast is what I would have delivered had I been allowed and have given the opportunity to give brief remarks at the crime symposium at the Marriott. I am honored to be able to represent a significant cross-section of the community in St. Kitts and Nevis at this symposium here today. But I am saddened and scared for my country, and nervous and horrified. Murder number 23 on the heels of our national consultation on crime. Are the criminals sending us a message? We felt that it was our duty to be here today because our party, the People's Action Movement, has been leading the debate on the issue of crime and the ideas about how we can address the vexing crime problem. We also felt that it was important to be here because based on the comments and suggestions we have received from hundreds of people, we know that many are looking towards us for leadership on this issue. As we said in our public comments of the situation just last week, the community must be united in this effort to save our nation. This symposium here today is not expected to be the magic solution to the problem. It is not the beginning or the end. And if it has to have its true value, some long-lasting institutional framework must be developed from this activity here today. Anything short of that will relegate it to what skeptics say is just a mere talk shop, or worse yet, a photo opportunity aimed at silencing the chorus of national concerns. Mr. Prime Minister, we have put many suggestions on the table before. We are more than willing to make those ideas and suggestions available to your commission. I am available at your disposal to meet with you, your team and my team, in a unified approach. This is the only way forward, with respect, I suggest. But to take the discussions beyond what we have already publicly proposed and what has been widely reported in the press in the last few weeks, we want to recommend that we set up a National Security Commission, NSC for short. That body will be given the teeth, the legal teeth, and approved through the Parliament of this country. In our humble proposal, the NSC will comprise a member of cabinet, a member of the opposition, a member of civil society, a member of the Nevis Island administration, and the Commissioner of Police. What will be the role of the NSC? The NSC will be the body that makes the types of recommendations we will get here today and run with them. Ensure that the best of those are implemented. But beyond that, and more fundamental, the NSC will be able to review on an ongoing basis the effectiveness of the police force and other law enforcement agencies. It will come up with detailed plans and proposals for the better equipping of the police force. We'll develop a national system of community workers and watchers so that the individual communities take ownership in the fight against crime. It will ensure that the morale of the police force is maintained and improved by helping to set up clear criteria for both promotion and remuneration. Aggrieving police officers will be able to make direct representation and presentations to the NSC to have their concerns addressed after a series of internal administrative steps are exhausted. The National Security Commission will be able to question and interview persons nominated by the government for top leadership positions of all law enforcement agencies. We feel that a commission is necessary in an attempt to depoliticize the police force and make its operations more effective and transparent. By that very means, there will be a mechanism where people would be able to begin to trust their law enforcement agencies. There are urgent short-term measures that could be considered in this ongoing discussion. And to list a few: increase security at our ports, increase police surveillance at the community level, a greater investment in the judicial system so there would be more speedy trials. We also strongly believe that there must be a deliberate attempt to get the guns off the street. Our party has previously suggested a gun amnesty, something that has caused some debate, and rightly so. We believe that it is an idea that must be pursued. But we accept the suggestion that rather than give a cash incentive, which could be used by criminal elements to turn around and buy more guns, that a voucher system be implemented. That voucher system will allow the rewardees the opportunity to purchase specific things such as foodstuff and medicines. While there needs to be some short-term urgent measures, the truth is that the bigger problem of crime would not be solved until we address the larger structural problems in our society. We are a part of that structure. You and I, Mr. Prime Minister. We did not get here overnight. And let us not fool people. We won't completely get out of this either just because we have a symposium today. But we accept that we must start somewhere. But in the medium and in the long term, we have to address how we can increase opportunities for our youths and decrease the level of hopelessness we see among them today. The People's Action Movement has already outlined elsewhere suggestions for those, including the implementation of a national youth program, as well as with issues addressing the curriculum in schools. In the interest of time, we would not go through all the details here right now, since we have put them out there already in the public domain. What we can do is make available the full statement on crime that we made at a national press conference last week. That document, which I put on the table here now, is in support of the comments that I have just made. I also want to put on the table PAM's 16-point plan to help in the fight against crime. This has been refined over and over again. Those suggestions, some of them are relevant today, as they were yesterday. Only that the current situation makes their implementation much more urgent. The People's Action Movement sees this challenge as an historic opportunity to provide leadership on an issue of genuine national concern. Our presence here today indicates our commitment to this fight against crime. Rest assured, Mr. Prime Minister, that we will be in the vanguard to ensure that today's session is not the end of anything, but the beginning of everything. We cannot and we must not allow this to be another talk shop. The future, Mr. Prime Minister, is in our hands. Let us not destroy it. When I look at my two young sons, 13 and 10, I fear for them. I shudder as I see what is unfolding before our very eyes. I wonder how those 23 families are coping with their hurt, with their loss. Let us show some love in our hearts towards each other and let it filter down to the darkest corner of our society. We cannot, Mr. Prime Minister, afford to fail our people.